What I've got here is a fairly unique setup from Fedoratron. So what I've got here is a fairly unique setup from Elliot Brown at Fedoratron. He custom cut all these different photo etch just for this particular computer wall, and he developed his own real simple, elegant way to do this rather than what I did here, which is a good one to check out if you don't want to get too complicated with it overall. In this case, and this is going back a ways, so I got to make sure I remember this correctly. This is an outer frame. This is a second outer frame. It's basically a sandwich setup. Let's start with the back. These four here are all diffusion gratings, and the idea was that if the LEDs were too bright here, I could slide one of these behind the wall to make it dimmer and essentially more diffuse. I'll show you the setup and how it works in a minute. Then you get this transparency for which the light to go through, which has its own reflective brass designs, and hopefully will keep some focus. Then on top of that, then this sandwiches to the wall. Actually, there's two more. This is the fine mesh that goes on top to separate into individual patterns. And then this is an overall grating to go on top of that, which goes behind the wall over here. I'm guessing this brass does not go on front, but I'll take a look at that before I actually install it. So the basic idea here, if I'm ready to do it, is to check out all the diaphragms to see if I want to change the lighting, and I'll show that to you what it looks like just bare lighting in the dark here to give you an idea what all the options are. Of the four diffusion gratings, it certainly looks one particular way, just the brass alone, but then when you put the transparency over it, you get a much better idea of the brightness. And here on the LCD, that's probably a little brighter than that appears in person. That's the smallest diffusion. So overall, going through them, one that I like is this. It helps to square the light off nicely. Almost eliminates the round nature of it when it's just bare against this completely. The colors aren't quite right on the LCD from what I'm seeing, but the difference between that and this is definitely distinct. So the brass would go down first. I'll have to get that squared off. Then the transparency goes on that, after which the fine grating goes on top of that, and then the overall frame after that. I guess I'm going to use CA for this. I don't exactly know how it's going to go. I've got a semi-fresh battery now, so let's turn on the lights and see what's going to happen. There's not going to be a lot I can do about the color balance because I got to concentrate on this, so you'll have to forgive that, I hope. Actually, let's pause it for a little bit and see what I can do here. Well, I definitely wouldn't want to miss this one. So, I've been checking out the positioning on it, and overall it kind of gets right. It's just like a hair too tall. And being that this is handcrafted, it's not square, and this being computer generated essentially is square. I can move the LEDs around just a little to make sure they're all kind of as centered as they can be. So I'm doing that on a one-by-one basis at this point, and I think I've just about got them all. A little more adjustment on the middle. I already moved these guys, but I need just a little more. Hopefully I've been showing off what's been... There we go.
Getting close in time.
It's like 3. Alright, so that's going to be it for this session. I want to take a quick look at the lower hull before we get too much further. There's a lot of integration that's going to happen. So as you can see, the blob of spaghetti over here is going to be connecting to one of these sets of wires over here. And I'm just fooling. Actually, the lower hull is over here. This is a photo sent to me by Elliot Brown over at Fedoratron. He said he had a video capture of my lower hull that he wanted to share, and here it is. So I really love this shot, and this is definitely going to go up on the wall somewhere. Thanks a lot for that, Elliot. So I am going to pack all this up, relatively speaking, without trying to destroy everything. I'm going to leave this upside down as is. The next step is going to be exploring gluing the photo etch to the windows. This is one shot, winner take all kind of situation, so I want to be really careful about it and test fit it into place as often as possible, and it's just too late in the day for that. So that's pretty much it for now. The spaghetti mess does abate. Once I get the computer wall fitted, I'll trim those down. Still have to catalog and map out all the colors for the console. Not worried about that at all. All these are good and tucked in, and they're all labeled with their individual colors. I managed to tape those down a little further just to make sure that they don't fly up all over the place and get loose. And it looks like there's really only going to be those 4 or 5 fibers going into that one slot there. That's kind of surprising. So, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching as always. See you next week.